Hello everyone, and welcome to the first Super Rocketeer development video. This is a game I've been working on for about a year now, which is why it looks as nice as it does one development video in, but there's still a long road ahead of it, so I thought I'd make these videos and keep track of its progression. So, as you might have been able to guess, this is a platformer. You got running and jumping, but because we have a rocket protagonist, we can boost sideways and upways and downways and death. That's a feature. No. But there's lots of things. And my three main goals with this project are build a good base engine, which is what this video series is for, give it a good atmosphere, and give it as much variety as I can. So if I ever get tired of platforming, I can add in a segment that's more action-oriented. This week, I ended up doing a lot of work with sensors. The first thing I did was I added a flip animation whenever Rocketeer boosted upward. The problem with this was that Rocketeer would sometimes start the animation, but get cut off halfway through because he hit a tile or landed on the ground. To fix this, I made it so a sensor spawned whenever he was about to do the animation. If there's a tile nearby, the sensor detects it and prevents Rocketeer from doing the animation. Next I made it so Rocketeer automatically rolls whenever the down key is down and he's moving. Prior to this change, you also needed to hold down the Z key to roll. However, some keyboards limit the number of buttons that can be down at a time, so some people wouldn't have been able to roll at all if I didn't change it. I think this change is for the best though, because it both speeds up gameplay and makes the controls a bit simpler. The next thing I worked with was crawl spaces, or small openings that are a single tile high. Originally, Rocketeer had to roll in order to get into these, and if the down key was let go of, Rocketeer would stand up but get caught between two collision boxes and the game would lock up. I made this better in two ways, and with two separate sensors. The first sensor would detect whether or not Rocketeer was next to a crawl space. If he was, then he would automatically roll into it, so you didn't even need to press the down key. The second would detect whether or not Rocketeer was already in a crawl space. If he was, it would prevent him from standing up, so there was no threat of the game freezing. Among the numerous bugs that came with these changes, there was one unintentional effect that I ended up keeping, which was if Rocketeer were to duck next to a single tile, he'd stay ducked even if you were to let go of the down key. This sort of worked like a simplified cover system, so I actually ended up giving him a cover animation whenever he ducked next to a wall. Next, I modified Rocketeer's free-running skills. Previously, if you were against a single tile and you held up, Rocketeer would automatically climb up it. But now you don't even have to hold up. Rocketeer will just automatically climb up any single tile he goes up against. But if you hold up against two tiles stacked on top of each other, he'll automatically jump up those. Lastly, I worked with the precision of Rocketeer's wall sliding. Previously, there could be scenarios where Rocketeer could hold onto a wall, despite neither his arms nor legs in his sprite making contact with it, which could look really weird. To fix this, I had two sensors spawn whenever Rocketeer was wall sliding, one above him and one below him. If the above one wasn't ever making contact with the wall, it would tell Rocketeer that he was too high and would wait for him to fall down a bit more until he could wall slide. If the below one wasn't ever making contact with the wall, it would tell Rocketeer that he was too low and push him up a bit. That's it for this week. Hope you've enjoyed and continue to follow development.